Hi, this is JP Morgan. Today on the Slanted Lens and the Laws of Light, we're going to take a look at my #1 tip for shooting outside. It works every single time. It gives you great images. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put her back towards the sun. That sun's up high, and I'm now going to move her forward until I find the shadow transition edge. You see her shadow on the ground down there? I see that there's shadow on her shoulders and that, but I see that her head is up into the sun. That's the perfect place because now I'm looking back into the shadows behind her, but she's got a nice rim light of sun on her hair. It just looks beautiful. I'm going to set my camera on aperture priority. I'm going to set my aperture at 2.8 because I want as shallow depth of field as possible. I've got here the 70 to 180, the Tamron lens that goes on the Sony, and I'm now going to, at that 2.8, 100 ISO, I'm going to let the shutter do what the shutter wants to do. I'm going to expose for her side here. I'm going to expose for the light on her face. I can bring that reflector in if I want to open it up, or I don't have to. I can do those two different things with this. But because I'm looking so far back there and the sun is behind her, I get a little bit of light into the trees back there. It's not all dark. I get some life back there, which makes great images. So let me shoot a few here. So now my #1 tip of all time. Okay, not my #1 tip, my second tip. This is a collapsible stool that I got, I think, from Costco. I don't know for sure, hardware store. But it just gets me up just enough. I can see a little higher and I can look into her and it just looks great. It gets me above her nose, which is where I want to be. Look right here for a couple. That's awesome. Full body here. So there she is on that shadow transition edge. She's right up to me. Now it will require that I'm going to have her keep walking forward slightly as the sun changes, and that's okay. I'm just going to keep following her. It may be that I want to use that reflector. It depends on the light that's out here, but there's so much light bouncing around out here, I don't need that reflector. But if I did, I'd bring her forward a little bit, I'd turn that reflector towards her, and I would just bounce a little bit of that light back that's coming over the top of her shoulders, bounce into her. I like this area because I'm on the shadow transition edge, which means I don't have a lot of light on her body. It's not a harsh, hard sunlight, it's a little softer because I'm kind of in that shadow transition in there, which makes it a little bit softer. That's the secret, getting her into that soft shadow transition between the sun and the shadow gives you a beautiful place to shoot. So there you have, #1 tip for shooting outside. Find the shadow transition edge, shoot on aperture priority, open that aperture wide open, 2.8, let the background fall out of focus, and look for little patches of light back there. Move around till you find a patch of light to get behind her so it just looks really interesting, and that looks fabulous. If you get behind like something like a building, then it's just dead back there. But if you can get some trees or something back there, it looks really nice. Sometimes I do it with a building because that's just what I have, but anytime I can have some kind of life back there, a little bit of sun, a little bit of light, that looks fabulous. Hope you enjoyed this. #1 tip for shooting outside. Don't dismiss this. This is probably one of the most important tips you'll ever receive because people all the time, I see student work, I see other photographers, and their stuff looks terrible outside. If they would just do one simple thing, turn the back to the sun, get the person to the shadow transition edge, and shoot away with a shallow depth of field, you'll have a beautiful image every single time. So I hope you enjoyed this. Keep those cameras rolling and keep on clicking. And don't forget your little stool so you can get up a little higher. Introducing the new Platypod Extreme. It's a redesigned version giving you a lighter, more versatile tool. The Platypod Extreme is perfect for getting your camera in those really tight, hard to reach spaces. And it's lighter too. The Platypod Extreme can be strapped or screwed into many different places, giving you very unique camera angles and allow you to hold that camera in obscure and hard to reach places. It also has cutouts so you can slip it on the belt or slip it off. Makes it easy to attach. These great new hinged spikes make it so you can put them forward or backwards anywhere you need them to give you a stable shot on really uneven terrain. And also, it gives you that really super low angle. Pretty awesome. The large cutout at the top of the plate makes it easy to carry with you, and the Extreme has multiple places to attach your carabiner, so you can carry it with you anywhere you go by attaching it to your bag or backpack. So go to platypod.com to purchase your Platypod Extreme.